Are you looking to broaden your career opportunities? Future-proof your career with a bachelor's degree from the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. We've introduced new cutting-edge degree programs in Environmental Studies and Sustainability, Tourism and Hospitality, Business Administration, and Public Health. Online platforms are making it easier than ever before to further your education and mask your competitive advantage. This is the game changer you've been waiting for. Get the highest return on your investment in UECS from the college you trust. Visit salcc.edu.lc. Apply today for September 2021.
Hello and welcome to a Sir Arthur Lewis Community College informational session with me, Jessie Leonce. In this episode, I'm sitting in for Mrs. Nathalie Jolie-Fanis, the communications head at the college. She won't be able to be in today, but we're here nonetheless, continuing to bring the good news of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College's transformation that is ongoing right now. We have in studio with us today Mr. Brent and Catherine, and he is the head of the Innovation Hub and Gateways to Global Careers program of the college, and he'll be speaking to us about these two, what they mean and how they're going to help St. Lucian residents and others outside of our space be able to benefit and improve their lives, make themselves more marketable. If you're just joining us, a special good morning to you. Today is Wednesday, the 21st of July, 2021. We hope you are continuing to adhere to the protocols, and as we come to you live from the Information Command Center this morning, we hope you could huddle up for the next 30 minutes or so for this program to learn as much as you can, because especially in these times that we're living in, the pandemic, persons are looking to change up their careers, do something different, switch things up, and the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College definitely has quite a bit to offer. So good morning, Assistant Catherine. So thank you so much for being here today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Head of Innovation Hub and Gateways to Global Careers program. A heavy head.
Very. very heavy. But these two programs sort of work together. The Gateways program is a hands-on experiential training program for our young people, and the Innovation Hub is the technical place where prototyping is done to support this entrepreneurship program. So they work hand in hand, but don't be fooled, it's a lot of work.
Okay, so we're starting with the Innovation Hub, so that's like a lab.
All right, the Innovation Hub is basically comprises of 5 labs.
Okay.
So we call it the Innovation Hub just to generalize all the facilities we have, but it's 5 individual labs put together.
Okay.
And these labs make us very versatile, and we can engage in many projects. So let me tell you about the 5 labs. So one lab is an ICT media lab, and this is where app development, software development, a bit of 3D modeling, and other media things are done. Okay. The second lab we have is a food innovation lab, very important, and this one is probably taking the most work. This is where food creation is done, nutritional tables, testing and so forth. We don't have these facilities here. Every time somebody wants to develop new food products and they want the proper tables and stuff put, we have to send it overseas to Trinidad. So this is a big win for St. Lucia. We're actually going to do a lot of food development here, and we know that food security is a major issue, especially in the pandemic times, as you spoke to earlier. All right. So after that, we have a virtual reality lab. And the virtual reality lab is another astounding division of the Innovation Hub. And this is where virtual reality is used, especially for learning. And let us not downplay the importance of virtual reality now. Virtual reality is actually the future of learning. If you want somebody in St. Lucia to practice heart surgery, okay, they will have to go abroad, get expensive equipment and so forth. But in today's world, virtual reality allows us to minimize on these costs, the cost of doing that. So for instance, somebody down here can put on the virtual reality glasses. They can have things that mimic scalpels and the other medical equipment, and they can actually perform heart surgery using this virtual space.
So simulations.
So simulations, yeah. So that is another one. We also have a fabrication lab, And this is where we're going to do things like robotics, develop our own robotics. We're going to develop prototypes of different products, sensors for agriculture and so forth. So the very good space there. And the fifth lab is going to be an environmental sciences lab. And this is where we're targeting what is called the blue economy, which has everything to do with the oceans. So water quality testing, observing the coral reef life, okay, sustainable practices for the ocean and so forth, as well as it's going to do a bit of agrotech, like climate smart technologies, smart greenhouses and all of these things, and this comes on the environmental sciences lab. Okay. So as you can see, these are things that are not really present in St. Lucia right now, may not be even present in the entire OECS, because we are boasting of setting up the most advanced, fully equipped innovation lab in the entire OECS. And we're not going to be selfish. We're not going to service just St. Lucia. We are going to service the entire OECS with that lab.
Wow. And I mean, a project and undertaking of this magnitude would certainly require partnerships in the technical aspects and so on. Yes. So tell us about some of the collaborations that have been underway with respect to putting on the Innovation Hub.
Okay, all right. So I want to start with ICA, okay, or IICA, as some people say, the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation and Agriculture. They were one of the first partners to come along, and they are really pushing the agricultural initiative. Okay. So they came on board from early, helping us to find resources for the lab. They also came on board with Gateways, helping us design programs for training of our future entrepreneurs in the realms of agriculture and even a bit of the blue economy, which has to do with fisheries and so forth. So I need to thank them for coming on board early. One of the major partners we have, is Taiwan. Okay, so the Taiwan Technical Mission came on board, and I tell everybody, we boast of this. I don't know any other tertiary institution in the Caribbean that Taiwan has signed an MOU with. So to tell you how much faith they've placed in us, to tell you how broad our initiative is, we have Taiwan on board. And Taiwan, as we know, is basically Asia's Silicon Valley. They have some of the most advanced technologies, and they have committed to giving us their full support. So we're very, very happy about that.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Now, the Innovation Hub is the facility.
Yes.
Now, the Gateways to Global Careers program, as you mentioned, is the way the means by which you can bring in your students, participants, what have you. Talk to me.
So Gateways started out, I would say, from humble beginnings. Okay, the principal and I sat in the office, and he gave me his vision of having this hands-on experiential program, and which would train especially Sir Arthur Lewis students in entrepreneurship. They would get they would have their own for-profit business while we had them in this incubatory environment. So it was a good idea, and other partners such as Invest in Lucia heard about it, and they're like, no. This cannot be for only the students. This needs to be for everybody who wants to become an entrepreneur. So we're like, no problem, we'll offer it out there. And I can tell you within 3 months, we garnered the support of also Arizona State University, which is the #1 university for innovation in the United States, above MIT, Harvard, all of these places. And they're saying, yeah, they're going to support our students, our participants, as much as they can, lending resources and expertise. So they've lent us some lecturers for the Gateways program. The other thing is that Harvard University, known for its great business knowledge, has also collaborated with us on the Gateways program. And it's just been snowballing from there. We have a lot of partners. There are a lot of resources being poured into it. The private donor agencies who have offered scholarships. So for the first cohort, we had an Angelica Howard scholarship, and that was given by a St. Lucian living abroad. We just got some pledge funding from Bank of St. Lucia, so I'd like to say thank you to them. So things are going pretty good.
Wonderful. And you indicated the first cohort. So you've had registrants already, applications filled, persons being accepted into these programs.
Yes.
Tell us, what is that process like? What are the prerequisites and so on?
Okay. So the prerequisites, we ask that they be over 16 because we want them at the end of the program to be able to register a business. Okay. We don't, unlike the screening process for the college where you must have a certain amount of CXCs and so forth, we ask for the basic competencies that you can read and write, because this is more immersion, this is more hands-on, this is not theoretical, this is doing. So one of the first courses we have is like a design thinking course where you are taught critical thinking, how to prototype, how to spot opportunities and these things. And then you go into the lab, you develop your product, you do field work with your suppliers. So let's say that somebody wants to go into, let's take a common product like fish burgers. We actually arrange for you to do an internship with the fisheries company, the Bureau of Standards, so you can learn about the whole supply chain so that when you have your business, it will succeed. So
you're not going in blindly.
You're not going in blindly. And one of the things that we're saying is that this program covers all bases for you to succeed. It's not one of the other run-of-the-mill programs where, oh, you do a little accounting, a little bookkeeping, and they tell you you're an entrepreneur. No, you have to prove that that business is profitable before we let you out into the real world.
And that you're meant for it too.
And that you're meant for it too.
Yeah, because we find a lot of persons not finding success in entrepreneurship because they're pushing a certain idea that they have in their heads, but they probably don't have the knack for it and so on. Yeah,
and one of the problems we find is not that they don't have the knack for something, is that the facilities for them to do to take the idea to proof of concept and eventual commercialization. Sorry for using technical terms and stuff. But a lot of them do not have the facilities to do that. So they may have a good idea, but there's no way to prototype it, get the proper packaging right, get the nutritional contents right, storage dates, and so forth. So we are providing those facilities, and many people have good ideas, but without those kind of facilities, those ideas are basically dead in the water. All right, so we cover that base, and some people do not have the business knowledge, and business knowledge is not something that you're born with. Okay, it's something that can be acquired. So we can impart that business knowledge for you, and we can identify your weaknesses because you're in that incubatory environment.
Okay, understood. We are due for a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about gateways as well as the Innovation Hub and also the reception from the government of St. Lucia, because this is something that is transformational. As you indicated, persons who have ideas for businesses, you know, starting at a small scale, but the possibilities with innovation and research involved are limitless. So stay tuned for that in just a moment. We're due for a break. This is the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College informational session. We're talking to Mr. Brent St. Catherine about the Innovation Hub over at the college, as well as Gateways to Global Careers program, where you do not necessarily need to have CXCs to join this program on the morn. Stay with us.
We can win this war. Get vaccinated. We're taking our life back. Get vaccinated. We know what to do. Get vaccinated. COVID-19 we won't lose to you. Oh no. Take 2 doses. Take our life back. Time for a brand new day. Take 2 doses. Take our life back. To live and work and play. Take 2 doses. Take our life back. The health experts we trust. Take 2 doses. Take our life back. Vaccinate for you, for yours, for us.
Let's take our life back with the safe and effective AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. The mobile vaccination drive is coming to you. Visit the Ministry of Health and Wellness and Bureau of Health Education Facebook pages for more information. Let's take our life back. Vaccinate for you, for yours, for us.
Get vaccinated.
This message is brought to you by the Bureau of Health Education of the Ministry of Health and Wellness and this station.
Thank you so much for staying with us. This is the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College Information Session, another episode. This time we've engaged with Mr. Brent St. Catherine. He is the head of the Innovation Hub and the Gateways to Global Careers program. It's a lot, but it's worth it. You know, it's worth it in terms of what is possible under this initiative, this latest initiative from the college. Tell us so far, what has been the reception from the government of St. Lucia? As I indicated before we went to break, this is something that is transformational and definitely what a lot of persons who just sprouted business, sometimes cottage industry, have been hoping for, looking for, asking for.
Okay. Yeah, so the government is fully in support. And I don't want to talk too much about the government in this season, but definitely Ministry of Education has been very much behind us. All right, so their presence was felt at the signing with the Taiwanese. Okay, and we've had many divisions of the government help us. NCPC, the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, has been behind us from day one. In fact, we're working with them to presently fund the entire ICT technology lab. And the cost goes into the millions, and that has already been secured. So I mean, we are getting a lot of help from the different government agencies. I want to say that the word global there is very important, because one of the things that the college has done in its transformation is that we have reached out to so many international partners. On Friday, we are meeting with World University Service of Canada, which is from out of Canada, and we have taken our Gateway students as well as some agricultural students, and we will be putting them for internships over the summer on different farms at the export organization, TIPA, Bureau of Standards, different Ministry of Agriculture, and so forth. So we have a Canadian partner who has helped us with that, the Gateways program. We also have the Korean Fund, all right, the Korean Fund under the auspices of the World Bank, who are also helping us with the Innovation Lab and the Gateways program.
The financing. The
financing, okay. And we have Taiwan, who's also assisting us. We have a World Bank rep in Ecuador assisting us. So we have now a global network, which the college hasn't seen before. We may have had a couple partnerships with one or two universities overseas. But now, like the signing with the Taiwanese, we are dealing with global governments. We are dealing with global institutions. So we are really at a different level right now.
Strategic collaboration.
Strategic collaborations, yes. And I must say that a lot of it is due to the hard work of Dr. Keith Nurse. He painted the vision, and he's been working hard to build these relationships outside for us. So, yes.
Absolutely wonderful. So, tell us internally, how are these two, the Innovation Hub and the Gateways, transforming Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, and how has it been able to, if at all, coalesce with the other program offerings of the institution?
Okay. All right, let me start off by saying the Gateways program, as much as we have collaborations with Harvard, Arizona State University, and the Innovation Hub, has partners with World Bank, UNDP, the Taiwan Technical Mission, Korean Fund, and so forth. It's only 7 months old. In 7 months, we have
to rack up this degree of support.
To rack up this degree of support and actually secure financing for these 5 labs.
Wow.
So it's still in its infancy stage, and we still bring in the different departments on board. But what is happening is that the Innovation Hub, like let's say the virtual reality space, is going to be used to support a lot of the curriculum that's already there. So, for instance, we have a course in sustainable cities, which deals with, you know, how do we grow our cities to be climate smart, climate resilient, How do we protect the environment? And part of it is coral reef protection, especially as tourism expands, more hotels are developed and so forth. We are working with UNDP on what is called a Blue Dot project, and we're bringing that into the Smart Cities curriculum, whereby we use footage of the coral reef and you're fully immersed in it. So if somebody tells you, well, the marine life has changed over the past couple of years and stuff, you may believe it, but if you immersed in it, you actually feel and you see the impact.
Yeah.
Okay, that is an unforgettable experience. So these things like the virtual reality lab are going to support courses. The environmental sciences lab, of course, with its agri-tech infrastructure, will support the agricultural department, because we are going to get from the Taiwan Technical Mission things like drones, smart sensors, aquaponics equipment. So the lab is propelling the college to another level, and it's helping it become this technical university college.
Okay, and then you just mentioned the Taiwan technical,
yes,
the MOU with Taiwan.
Right.
Speak to us a little bit more about, I was just thinking perhaps financial support, but speak to us about the depth of support that you'll be getting through this this memorandum of understanding.
Okay, the memorandum of understanding spells out a lot that the Taiwanese are going to do for us. For one, they're going to support gateways through an agri-tech specialization, and I made reference to drones, because drones can be used to monitor a farm, they can be used for security, they can be used for fertilizing, assessments and so forth. So they have said that, listen, agriculture needs to be modernized here. They're doing a lot of work, but it needs to be done a lot quicker. So we are partnering with them to bring especially technology, that's why it's called agri-tech, to bring technology to farming. So more sensors, GPS, spatial mapping, so we can assess areas, assess soil quality, fitness for different plant variations and so forth. So all of these things are in the MOU. Apart from that, they are going to support the environmental sciences, and agri-tech lab is going to be called Environmental Sciences and Agri-tech because of their influence on it. So they're going to help us in terms of our equipment needs there. So the Taiwanese are very, very much on board with us. We're starting with agriculture, but of course it will spill over into different things, yeah.
Okay, and I mean, we're running out of time, but I just want to go back into recruitment. So you indicated that you have a cohort right now.
We have a cohort right now.
For 7 months of the life of this initiative.
Yes.
Tell us, how often will recruitment be happening annually?
Okay, so we started with a small cohort. Okay, the cohort now is 12, and we wanted to keep it small because presently I am the head cook and bottle washer. I do get support from other areas, but... And
it's like a pilot phase.
It's a pilot phase. It's a pilot phase, and you cannot go big with 100 people in the pilot phase and then it doesn't work out. Well, it may fail. It will work out, but you don't want to have a pilot phase and things are going wrong and you have a lot of people to try and buffer.
It's challenging
and fix.
to manage.
So we started with a small cohort and it's going smoothly.
Nice.
So we had an 8-week design thinking course, and I don't think design thinking is offered anywhere else in St. Lucia. They loved it. They made some prototypes of products they wanted to have, and so forth. And next week, Tuesday, they have a lecture from, not a lecture, but a webinar, I would say, a seminar from Harvard University on sustainable entrepreneurship. So it's going pretty well. Although they paid for the course, they are given a summer internship that I spoke about, the World University of Canada, and they're going to make more money than what they paid. So in other words, basically the course was free for them. Yeah, and we're getting a lot of funding. Even Taiwan is looking at funding a lot of the next cohort.
Nice.
So I'm going to encourage people to register early. We are starting our registration campaign on the 1st of August. More information will come out. We're still working on the ads and so forth, but we're looking to take another cohort in, for October 1st is going to start.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, the other cohort will be much bigger. We probably have about 60, 70 young people who want to.
Lined up.
Lined up. And because the reception was so well, and because our pilot phase went so well, we are now going to have specializations. So we're going to have a specialization in agri-tech, food creation, and agro-processing. We're going to have a specialization in ICT and fintech, and we're going to have, did I say tourism, right?
Yes, you did.
Yes, yes. Yeah, we're going to have these specializations. So
Mr. St. Catherine,
yes.
How much sleep have you been getting in the last 7 months?
Not much at all. Not much at all. In fact, I took vacation recently, and my friends laughed at me because I had a week vacation and I only took 1 day off. So I hope Dr. Nurse is listening in so I can get my days
Give
of
this
vacation
man a raise. Yeah, but we definitely appreciate, what is happening right now. And I know everybody is on board at the South Louis Community College for changing things up, switching things up.
Definitely. There's a lot of buy-in and everybody's so excited. Recently, we put the signage on the building and so forth. We have some equipment there and everybody's asking, where do we put in the equipment? Where do we put in the equipment? And I have to tell them, okay, you need to be patient. First of all, we have to get the cooling of the building right. It's a lot of equipment, 3D printers and so forth. So we have to put in AC, we have to put in the security and so forth. And some of the equipment is being procured right now. So, I mean, it's a process that is slow. We have some of the equipment by next year, I would say safely January.
Okay.
We'll have it fully outfitted, but the college is very excited. Every single day I say everybody saying, when is the equipment reaching? When is the equipment reaching? I'm like, so we have to put in the infrastructure.
So yes. All 5 labs will be located at the Morn campus?
Yes.
Okay, so what of perhaps persons in the south of the island?
The south of the island, okay, well, we have a good relationship with people in the south of the island, and what we want to ensure is that they can always come up and use the lab facilities, all right? We want to encourage, we want eventually all of the students to be registered on the gateways. It doesn't mean that they won't do the other programs, but Gateways is hands-on, and we've made it flexible enough so that they can do they can do their theoretical academic programs, but they also have that entrepreneurship training afforded to them. So they have more options now because we know the job situation. And any field you're in, eventually you have to become an entrepreneur. If you're a doctor, you have to open your own office. You name it. Everybody's an entrepreneur now. You are a social media influencer. You're an entrepreneur. You're managing a brand. So
you need to be able to adapt.
You need to be able to
increase your marketability.
Exactly. So, and the Gateways program presents a lot of opportunities. We have a cultural festival as one of the activities. So you meet the different embassies, you learn how to do business in a global environment. There are even chances for travel because we have exchange programs going on, and a lot of the exchange, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but a lot of the exchange programs will be funded. We actually are creating budgets for that.
Wonderful. We're running out of time, but you can join the program with not a CXC, but what do you leave with?
What do you leave with? Okay, you leave with a certificate of completion, and of course, this certificate is endorsed by all our partners. We also working on getting credits for universities such as Arizona State University. So that is also in the making, so you will get credits. Okay, and for every module you complete, whether it's a workshop on design thinking, whether it's your summer project, whether it's you running the business, you get a certificate validating your hard work. You get something saying that you've done that. And trust me, with all our global partners, it carries a lot of collateral with it.
Wonderful. Mr. Brent St. Catherine, head of the Innovation Hub and the Gateways to Global Careers program, a startup at the South Louis Community College. We wish you all the best. 7 months now. You've had this program going on, but we hope that it blossoms into something so much bigger, and we anticipate that based on all the support that you've received so far. So thank you so much, and give my regards to everyone at the college. Jessie Leonce here signing off for now. It's all the time we have for today's SALCC, so Arthur Lewis Community College informational session. Do stay tuned to NTN for more programming and continue to adhere to the protocols. Bye.
Are you looking to broaden your career opportunities? Future-proof your career with a bachelor's degree from the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. We've introduced new cutting-edge degree programs in environmental studies and sustainability, tourism and hospitality, business administration, and public health. Online platforms are making it easier than ever before to further your education and mask your competitive advantage. This is the game changer you've been waiting for. Get the highest return on your investment in the ECS from the college you trust. Visit salcc.edu.lc. Apply today for September 2021.